Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're starting back off right where we left off. Got the upper link bars tacked to the axle housing. Next, it's already marked, so I'll make sure it's marked evenly on both sides. Next, these are the link bar ends. Now that we know the angle, we have a mark already here on it. That link bar will sit right there. Not touch that, but it's going to be below about right there. The height should be near there. I have the height of the center of the bolt opening, but that should clear. It won't even go that far down at full lift. So we'll get these link bars taken off and get them cut. Then we can start mock up on the tabs to get the link bar mounted to the frame. Now that they are cut and beveled, we'll grab the welder and then we'll tack it in 2 spots on each one. Nice and square. I threw some bolts in them. Nice and easy. Nice and straight on each. Once we get these tacked up, we'll set them into the tabs again. And then we can start figuring out the tabs to mount them to the frame on each side. Once we get them tacked in, then we can raise it to its laid out height, put in some mock-up bags that I have. Not mock-up bags like these, it's a metal example of a bag when it's collapsed. So I'll show you guys that when we get to there. But you want this thing basically laid out to mount where the bag is going to be and the pinion and everything like that. You want it to be square when laid out. When it's aired out, it can be a little off, but when it's laid out, you want it to be straight. All right, we'll keep on moving. We're getting this thing done. So next, we will figure out mounts for the front. I'm gonna cut down these tabs because this needs to be about right there. Let me double check. Let's double check this measurement. maybe I can use this little guy as a little spacer. Oh, that's perfect. All right. So, 1/4 inch off, which should be fine. I'll cut this, trim this bracket down. Oops. And this will go like this. And when I trim it down, it'll bring this piece almost flush to that. So we'll mark these, trim both sides, get them tacked, and then we'll go to the other side. This one shouldn't be too bad. The other two that came with the kit aren't big enough. I will cut some on the plasma table. But the idea these can kind of give me is this will go there, and as you see, it doesn't reach. So I'll make one that goes around here, comes down, and I'm able to weld past. And then the other one's gonna come down to where it'll hit here, and it'll be like a V. So I'll be able to weld it in multiple places, and it'll be nice and sturdy. All right, we'll get on that next. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Turn on notifications. That way you'll be notified when there's an update on this build. Now that the frame's cleaned up on both sides, I can go ahead and tack this tab and that tab in. I have the link end level. Once we do that, then we can start designing the other tab. We'll get some cardboard out, figure out what we like, and then we can cut it out on the plasma table. We're going to use the same thickness material. 1/4 inch is what all this stuff is, all these tabs. I have some 1/4 inch, so we will start cutting and getting that done. This is what I came up with. All I needed was that tab just a little bit longer. And instead of being curved, I needed a 45. So I'm gonna cut this out and we'll see how this works to see if it's correct. Let's see how this works. All right, that'll do. Be able to weld it here, there, and then on the back side. And that'll hold that tab in for me. All right, let's get it drawn up. So this is what I've come up so far with. This is the template I made. And as you can see, it's pretty accurate. So now, like I said, this is ready to go. I'll go ahead and set the cut path, and then we'll go ahead and go cut it out on the table. Let's go ahead and load the file up. Change the origin. We'll do a dry run first. Let me set up where we want to cut. Right there. Looks like right there's the corner of it. We'll do a dry run first. All right, dry run selected. Raise that guy up a little. All right, complete it. We'll set it up again, without a dry run, and we'll get a cut. Let's see how it cut this 1/4 inch plate. Ooh, fell right out. Wow. Get down in here and go fishing for a second. Oop. Feels good. yeah. No cleanup, look at that. If so, very minimal. Nice, all right. Let's go see how it fits. We can dry it off. All right, then we'll start cutting anything. This is 1/4 inch. This will cut up to 5/8 or more. Some people said they've cut thicker with this machine. All right. Nice and beefy. It's close. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's close. Let's see how it fits. Okay. Let me drill that hole out real quick a little bit. And then we'll see. Let's make sure it fits now. Oh yeah. That's it. I'll give it a little bevel. I'll grind it down on this inside a little bit. And then that's it. Look at that nice tight fit. Oh yeah. All right, time to cut the other one. Prepped and ready. Next up, I'll need to mark the frame. Clean up the frame so I can tack these on. Then we can cycle the suspension and then tack on the uppers, the bridge bars on both sides, the lowers. And then we can cycle it through and make sure everything works. Happy and satisfied with everything? Time to weld it all up. All right, everyone, that's it for this one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you can continue to follow this build and all the other ones that we're gonna have coming in. Thanks for watching.